do condone it.
Pushing a car window to save a dog, escaping prison and not being charged for it, and legally burying someone in your own backyard. But before we get to the weirdest laws of all, we're starting with the most common myths right here at the police station.
Just tell us it was you. We found your fingerprints at the scene.
One of the most common legal myths people believe is that police can't lie, but they can and they do.
And they will. Don't ever think that they won't. Let me tell you right now, they gonna lie without lying.
Already talked.
Police are trained to lie during interrogations to get you talking. They'll say your friend confessed, they have your fingerprint.
So we can't lie, but no, what I was gonna say. If we lie, we get in trouble for it. If they lie, they train to do it.
Things will go easier if you just talk. Myth number 2, asking for a lawyer makes you look guilty. It doesn't. Talking without one, that's what actually gets people in trouble. Unless I'm under arrest.
Do not do this. The first ones you said so far I thought was pretty common sense, but clearly it's not. If that's a myth that needs to get busted. But do not say nothing. Plead the fifth. Zip it.
I'd like to leave, or I want a lawyer.
All right.
Immediately.
Say what you want. There's nobody in the room.
Even if the police leave the room, always remember, the recording never stops. They're also not required to tell you you're being recorded.
Unbelievable.
Myth 6, if you're in an interrogation room, you have to stay. Unless you're arrested or detained, you're free to leave. Just ask, am I free to go? If they say yes, get up and walk out.
Whoa. Now that's a new one. That's a new one. I ain't know the Ashkeys. Nah, I know the Ashkeys.
But there are
nigga say, am I free to go? Yes. Go.
way more legal myths I have to show you, like whether you can legally turn around at a DUI checkpoint, if you're allowed to smash a car window to save a dog, and whether flipping off a cop can get you arrested. A lot of people believe that if you're given a speeding ticket, you have to pay it no matter what.
Hold on, before he even said, if you get any type of ticket, you fight it. You feel me? It's a coin flip. If your officer don't show up, you just gotta, hey, better learn your lesson. Don't keep doing that shit now. I ain't saying keep doing that shit, but if your officer don't show up, you know what I'm
But
saying?
if the police officer makes a serious mistake on it, like the wrong date, plate number, or location, or the officer doesn't show up in court, you can sometimes get the ticket dismissed. Next is where people...
But that don't mean keep doing that shit. That mean you got a blessing that day. You got a blessing, so learn your fucking lesson.
Really messed up. They believe that signing a ticket is an admission of guilt, but really it just means you agree to show up in court. In some states, refusing to sign a ticket could get you arrested.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it.
I'm muting these shits every time I get an ad now. You ain't never getting no free airtime. Never.
Can I see your license and registration?
This is another big myth. A lot of people believe that when a police officer asks for your ID, you don't have to show it. But that's only true in certain situations.
Give me your ID. Come on.
If you're walking and the officer doesn't have reasonable suspicion you've committed a crime, then you usually do not have to show ID. But if you're driving your car and get pulled over, every state requires you to show your license.
This is for a very particular group of people. Let me rewind this one more time.
Show ID. But if you're driving your car and get pulled over, every state requires you to show your license.
What's in the trunk? Can I search your car?
Police generally can't search.
You'll never agree to no search. I know that. That's what you about to say right now. Watch. He about to say that. Don't ever agree to
your
no
car
search.
without your permission, a warrant, or probable cause, like smelling alcohol. I don't consent to a search of my car.
All right, he got me. Here you go. Have a nice day.
Oh, there's a DUI checkpoint up ahead. It's a place where police officers check to see if drivers are under the influence. I've seen people argue that police have to post the exact location of DUI checkpoints online. That's not always true. In states like California, they're supposed to give advance notice about checkpoints, but it's not required. And in states like Iowa, DUI checkpoints are banned entirely. What most people don't realize, you can legally turn around before a checkpoint, as long as you follow traffic laws. One of the most common myths that I see online is that it's illegal to flash your headlights to warn other drivers about the police. But it's often legal. Courts treat it as protected speech under the First Amendment. But certain states have restrictions on when and how you can flash your headlights, so check your local laws. But one of the wildest things people don't realize is that in a real emergency, a police officer can legally take your car.
Okay.
What the fuck? Wait a second.
Emergency, a police officer can legally take your car.
Okay.
So imagine you coming home from getting your groceries. You just went grocery shopping this Sunday. You just came from church and all that. And you get thrown out your car on some GTA shit by the police because they got an emergency? Are you serious right now? And what happened if they wreck your shit? What happened if they wreck it? Then what?
It's rare, but if they're chasing a possible suspect or in an emergency, there's no law stopping them. Next, most people know you legally have to stop at a stop sign. But what about if the stop sign is on private property? Well, unlike public stop signs, there usually isn't a law that forces you to stop. Though not stopping could lead to a crash, which means you could be sued. Another myth, that flipping off a cop will get you arrested. It's actually protected under the First Amendment. But just because it's legal doesn't mean it's a good idea, and it can lead to a lot more trouble. But just because it's legal doesn't mean it's a good idea, and it can lead to a lot more trouble.
He just said you could legally flip off the police? I already knew that. It's just crazy to hear. You could flip the police off?
If you're rescuing a dog trapped in a hot car, in some states you can break the window. It's called a Good Samaritan or hot car rescue law. But you should always check your state laws, confirm the doors are locked, call emergency services, and make sure the animal's in real danger.
He's in real danger.
He been waiting to do that shit all day. The whole video he been waiting to do that.
Nice job. But now I'm going to show you what your school can and can't legally do.
Hey, you! Right now, give me that bag.
Wait, no, don't you need a warrant for that?
Hold on! Huh?
Most teachers think they can just search your bag, but the truth is they can't. Teachers need reasonable suspicion you're breaking a law or school rule.
I'm going through your bag.
No.
They can't just demand to look through your stuff.
Well,
Fine, but you're staying after class.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something? So you telling me all this time I've been seeing the teachers pull shit out of the students' bags, they can't do that? I'm telling.
Mike, is that even legal?
Teachers can't physically block students from leaving except in rare emergency situations. That could be false imprisonment.
Fine.
But you should know if you do leave, you could get worse punishments, like suspension.
All right, thanks, Mike.
I tried. A lot of people don't realize that schools can punish you for stuff you post online, even if it's posted outside of school. But only if it causes a big disruption at school or targets a student or teacher. That's why you should always think twice before posting online. Oh, and while schools can't randomly drug test the entire student body, they can randomly drug test you if you participate in school-sponsored extracurricular activities, like chess club, debate, or sports. And while we're on the topic of schools, most people assume spanking is outlawed, but some states still allow it. I know it's weird. This next set of laws, they can...
Hold on, wait a second, pause. And what states is y'all still getting spanking at? We still spanking in the Big 25? About to be the 26? Are we serious right now? I don't think this new generation going for it. I ain't gonna never lie to you. I think somebody gets spanked in this generation, they can switch down, so I ain't gonna never cut to you. This spankings. Nigga, have you met these kids?
control what you can do in and around your own home. Whoa, this house has booby traps. Building traps that could hurt someone is illegal. Even if the intention is to prevent break-ins, the law doesn't allow traps that could hurt someone just to defend property. What's even crazier is that if someone trespasses on private property and gets injured, like falling into an uncovered hole that the owner knew about, the trespasser can sue the owner. Most people think they're informed, but what they're really seeing is outrage, fear, and whatever gets clicks. That's why I partnered with Ground News. It's a website and app built by a former NASA example. Check out this center. Amy can share this. One left-leaning outlet says billionaire taxes to ignore. Most people assume the sidewalk in front of their house belongs to them, but in most places, it's actually public property and owned by the city. However, even though you don't own the sidewalk, local laws may still make you responsible for keeping it safe, like shoveling snow and clearing ice. I also love their blind spot feed. It shows stories one side barely covers. Like this article on Harvard suing over frozen research grants. Right-leaning outlets ran it, left-leaning barely mentioned it. That gap matters if you want the full picture. Next, some areas require a permit for garage sales because doing too many can make it look like you're running an unlicensed business. Right now, you can get unlimited access to global news coverage with the
Why
code
you
to
keep trying to plug
Lemonade
his
can
shit?
still get shut down.
Aw, man.
But don't worry, I already got you a permit.
Yay!
Now let's go inside. A lot of people think their landlords always need permission to enter their home. But in an emergency like a fire or flood, the landlord can legally come in, even without asking. Next is one of my favorites. Police can legally enter your home without a warrant if they're chasing a suspect. It's called hot pursuit. And if they see anything illegal while they're inside, they can arrest you for it, even though you had nothing to do with the chase.
Get hands-on training at Universal Technical.
Man, imagine you just minding your business and you just so happen to got something illegal in your shit, and somebody just so happen to run through your shit in the whole hot police pursuit, and you fuck around and get arrested.
Illegal or you need a
Come on
permit.
now.
But in most states, there's no law against making a secret room. As long as you're not making big structural changes, if you're just turning an existing space into a hidden room and putting a bookshelf over the door, that's usually legal. Now let's go to the backyard. One of the weirdest legal myths is that you can't bury a loved one in your own backyard. But in some states, it's allowed, as long as you follow zoning laws, file the right paperwork, and meet local health codes.
Whew, this is hard work.
Just don't do it without telling your neighbors, unless you want rumors starting. And while we're in the backyard, another legal myth, that you can burn your trash whenever you want. Not true. Most cities ban open burning unless you have a permit. But there's one more housing law I have to talk about, and it's one of the most viral myths out there. It's called squatting. It's when someone enters and stays in a home without permission. A lot of people think the law protects squatters immediately, but it doesn't. To actually take over a property, squatters need to qualify under something called adverse possession.
Can you keep it down?
And to do that, they usually have to meet a strict list of legal requirements. Now I'm going to show you the 14 weirdest legal myths of all. First up, the citizen's arrest. A lot of people think they can say, I'm arresting you anytime someone does something wrong. But most states have strict rules. You usually have to witness a serious crime and use reasonable force. If you mess it up, you could get charged with assault, false imprisonment, or both. Did you know escaping prison isn't illegal in some countries? Places like Germany and Mexico see the urge for freedom as part of human nature. So the act of escaping prison isn't a crime, but if you assault a guard or steal a car on the way out, that's very illegal. And those acts can get you extra
Ain't that
charges.
some shit?
One of the craziest
They just said you could break out of jail as long as you don't do nothing illegal in the process and break it out of jail when illegal. Man, what the bro?
myths is that people believe you only get one phone call when you get arrested. Most states allow a reasonable number of calls, which means multiple. Some jails will even let you use your own phone. One of the weirdest myths that keeps getting reposted is that you have to be in a car to use a fast food drive-thru. But that's not actually a law. You can walk through. What most people don't realize is that businesses have the right to refuse service. So if you try, they can still turn you away. What's even weirder is that in over 20 US states, you can legally take home and eat roadkill. Some even let you claim it through an app. Montana, Alaska, and West Virginia are especially chill about it, as long as you don't cause the accident yourself. Myth 42, you can't legally own a tank. Well, if it's demilitarized, it's legal. If the cannon works, you need to get an ATF permit. Owning a tank is expensive, but not illegal. Oh, and you don't legally have to report a crime.
Owning a tank isn't illegal? We're about to turn this shit to GTA. Bro, don't let this information get in the wrong niggas' hands. We're gonna turn this shit to a real GTA like. He said owning a tank isn't legal when you can get a permit to use a cannon?
Just because you saw it. There's no general
not put
legal
money in the
duty to
wrong
call the
niggas'
police
hands, bro.
just because you witnessed a crime. A few states require it, but only for serious felonies, and even then it's rarely enforced. But if you hide a suspect, destroy evidence, or help someone escape, that's accessory after the fact, which is a crime. Many think surgeons must sleep a certain amount of hours before they operate. Surprisingly, this is false. There's actually no law that forces them to rest. Hospitals might have rules or shift limits, but legally, a surgeon can operate with zero sleep. If they mess up, it's usually a lawsuit, not a crime. You'll be surprised to learn that dumpster diving is technically legal. Once trash hits the curb, it's considered abandoned, no privacy rights. But if you step onto private property to get it, or your city bans it outright, you could still get fined or arrested. Myth number 47, it's illegal to marry your step-sibling. Actually, it's totally legal. Since there's no biological connection, incest laws don't apply. Might raise eyebrows, but doesn't raise a legal issue.
Shit,
Number
raise
48,
mine. I
opening
ain't
up
never
someone
gonna lie
else's
to
mail
you.
is always illegal. If you open it up intentionally, yeah, that's a crime. But accidentally opening it isn't. Think you can sit anywhere on a public sidewalk? Not always. Dozens of cities have sit-lie ordinances that ban sitting, lying down, or even placing your stuff on sidewalks during certain hours. They're controversial, but still enforced. And finally, number 50. If you find money on the ground, whether it's $100 or $1 million, most people believe it's finders keepers. But finders keepers isn't a real legal rule. If you find something valuable and don't try to return it, you could be charged with theft. Most states require turning it into police or making a real effort to find the owner.
Hey, Mike, I think you dropped this.
Because